Hi guys, I hope everyone is good. Anthony David is name aka Chidab, and today I'm going to be sharing wonderful and massive business ideas as regards your plantain farming business. So if you haven't watched the previous video on how to get your plantain field established, I need you to right away go watch that particular video, because this video is a continuation of the previous one. So if you haven't watched the video, I'm going to place the link around here or here, so you just hit on the link and go watch that video and then come back to this one to continue from here. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit on the subscribe button, and if you haven't liked my video by now, like my video please, and also turn on the notification bell so you get notified when subsequent videos drop. Guys, I need you to stick around, because in this video I'm going to be showing you different business ideas, how you can make more money, have more profit in your plantain farming business. So if you haven't started seeing the money yet, you're still wondering, I'm a plantain farmer, I don't even know how to make profit, this is the right video. This is the video you should be watching, because I'm going to be sharing various ideas you could make money from your plantain farms. Guys, stick around, I will be back. So welcome back guys. Like every other business, running a successful plantain farming business starts with proper planning and having good strategies. How do I mean? The mistake most farmers make is they wait till they harvest before they start sourcing for the market for their produce. That is a very grave mistake people do, and you shouldn't make that same mistake. Before you even start your plantain field establishment, ladies and gentlemen, you need to have sorted your market. You need to have gone to look for where to sell your produce. It is very key. You need to identify the market where this produce will be sold at before you even start. This is it. The mistake is people think they just produce and take it to the market. No, it's wrong, because the market should determine production. How do I mean? The demand in the market is what should determine the quantity you produce on your field. So if you want to establish, never ever get your field established without really figuring out the market for your field. This is not just applicable to plantain farms alone, it's applicable to every other crop production. Before you ever start any production at all, you need to identify the market for that produce so that you know at what rate to produce. This is very key to having a successful plantain business. That is the number one thing you should do as a producer. You need to have proper planning and then have good strategy to really make proper sales. The reason why you need to do all of this is because the shelf life of plantains are very short. So you wouldn't really want to take the risk of harvesting plantain before you start sourcing for your market. You will just run at a great loss, and that is not the aim of any farmer, to run at a loss. And that is why you need to do the right things even before you start production. Proper planning prevents poor performance, and it's also applicable even in your plantain farming. You need to ensure that you find the right market even before you start production, because one thing I want you to understand is that the demand for plantain is massive, is huge. You can't even meet the demand of the market, because everyone wants to have a taste of plantain, because plantain is so nice and delicious. Everyone wants to have a taste of it. Plantain business is cool when you do the right things, and that is why you need to start by having proper planning, everything spelled out on paper, black and white, and you shouldn't forfeit or boycott any of the steps. So the demand is huge. Now I told you need to identify where these demands are coming from. You need to identify the markets that really need your produce, and that is why proper market survey is so key to having a successful or a profitable plantain farming business. I've today classified the ways of doing business in plantain farming into two categories. How do I mean? So this is not like the conventional category of classification. It's just a classification to make it easier for you guys to understand what I'm trying to explain to you. So I've made it into two categories, and the first category is the direct sales, and then the second one is the value addition before sales. So the direct sales, which I'm going to be going into right now, involves the producer dealing directly with the wholesalers and as well as the final consumers. There's something I need you to bear in mind. There's something you need to bear in mind. For you to really make profit at the end of the day, for you to make more profit at the end of the day, your aim as a producer should always be to reach the final consumer. If you can boycott the wholesalers or the off-takers and then get to the final consumers, you are going to make more profit. You know why? The final consumers buy at a higher price than the wholesalers or off-takers. So how then do you boycott these guys and then get to the final consumer as a producer? Is very simple. One thing you need to do is you need to own an outlet or a shop in your local market, not just any kind of local market, major local market. You need to own an outlet. What the outlet does is when you harvest from your farm, instead of taking it to the wholesalers, you are taking it to your outlet where final consumers are coming to buy from. You know why the final consumers would come? Because you would have comparative advantage over other sellers. You are the producer, is fresh from the farm, and the price would be very nice compared to other people who must have bought from wholesalers and then are selling, or compared to the wholesalers who bought from the producers and then they are selling in the same market where you are selling. So you have comparative advantage over other people because it is fresh, direct from the farm. So your customers or the final consumers now, which is your major target, would definitely come to you, and that is why you need to ensure that you own an outlet or a shop at this local market. That is the number one step to reaching your final consumers. The second way you can reach the final consumer without really going the route of the wholesalers or off-takers is for you to run an online campaign. You know, this day we have in the digital space, there's a whole lot going around the digital space. You can also push your produce out on the digital space. Run a campaign, run a sponsored ad on social media platforms, advertise your produce even before they are ready, and let final consumers know that you have this thing they are in need of, and of course they would contact you directly. They won't need to go through the route of the wholesalers who would then make the price go up. So they would want to buy from you directly because they know they're going to be getting it at a better price. Yeah, and then you are making more profit because you are selling to the final consumers. You see, you're already making profit. That is what I'm saying. Proper planning. Yeah, you're already making profit. If you don't really know how to, or probably you are not opportune to get a shop in any major local market, and you don't even know how to run sponsored ad or get your produce pushed out on the digital space, it's not a big deal anyway. You can always take your produce to the open market. Yeah, we have people who produce, and then after production they take it to the local market, open market, where people buy from. So though they are not going to be selling at the rate at which you would have sold if you own a shop at those local market, but they just come during market days and then they display their produce, people buy from them, and they are fine. But note this: when you sell using this means, that is going to the open market to sell your produce, you might really not have enough quantity. So if you don't have enough quantity to sell, I would advise you go through that route. Just take it to the open market so that you'll be able to sell. But if you have very large quantity, your scale of production is quite high, you wouldn't want to go through that route, because you end up not selling it at the right price, because people would want to price it below even your cost price, and that is not what you want. Because when you sell below your cost price, you're already running at a loss, and we don't want that. So the next thing you need to do or start thinking of is you need to then go through the route of the off-takers or the wholesalers, people who have the capacity to buy in large quantities. Yes, because the off-takers are people who are into processing, so they can really buy at a very large quantity. So if you are a large scale producer, your outlet might really not take up every single thing you are producing from your farm. So what you need to do is you could also contact some of these off-takers you've got in your community, and then make them come off-take your produce. Why the off-taker route is cool is because these guys have the capacity to buy everything off at once, so you can off-take it at once. So the next thing you need to also start thinking of, how then do you reach out to your off-takers? Should I wait till my produce is ready? No, you need to start even before you produce. That is why I said proper planning. Through your planning, you will know the route you want to take. Should I own an outlet or a shop at a local market? Should I, after production, go to identify a major market, open market where I can go to and then make my sales? If that is not the route you want to take, and then you feel you need to go through the route of the off-takers, then you start making contact. Go through Google, search for people who are into processing of plantain into other things, search their contact, reach out to them, ask family and friends. Of course, you could have people who have contact of these guys. Let them know, so that you don't run at a loss. It is only when you fail to plan properly that you would produce and eventually harvest, and you don't get people to buy your produce. Mind you, the demand for plantain is huge, massive. No farm can meet the demand, and then you still see people who run at a loss. Why? Because they failed to really do the right thing. So guys, I really need you to always be ahead of time. Reach out to these people. Make sure you have more than one contact, so you don't get an off-taker disappointing you, because it happens a lot in the agricultural field. After you sign an agreement with an off-taker, later in the day they tell you they can't buy from you. So you need to have good agreement signed on paper, and they need to pay ahead of time, so that you know they have a bit of commitment, and then after you've delivered to them, they will then pay you completely. So that is the route you need to take. If you are going through the direct sales, you need to go through this route, because they are super effective. Do you know you can even make more money without even selling the fruit, that is the produce? Now we're talking about the bunch of plantains. Yeah, even before your plantain bunches are ready, you could start making profit from your plantain suckers. Oh, you don't know? Of course you can. This is it. This is logic. Within the first 3 to 4 months, a plantain stand would have produced nothing less than 3 extra suckers. Because you wouldn't want your plantain field to be overpopulated, you need to detach them from the parent plant, and once you detach them, you need to sell them, and that is profit. Dependent on your area, that would determine the price you're going to sell it for. Make research, then find out how much they sell, and then you make contact with whoever is going to be off-taking, and then you make your money. Of course, plantain suckers, that is another major source. In fact, we have people who only produce majorly for the sales of their suckers, and they are making money. So who says then there's no money in plantain farming? Except if you've not really identified how to make money, and that is why this video is coming to you, so that you identify these various ways you can make money from plantain farming. So guys, the next I'm going to be talking about is the second category I told you about. I told you that the next is value addition. Wow, from the word value, then addition to your plantain. You know what that means? This involves processing of your plantain fruit into other forms, like say flour or say chips, yeah, and a host of other things you could really do with your plantain fruit. When you get your plantain processed into other forms, you've added value to it, and that means you are most likely going to make more profit from your value addition on the plantain. You know why you do this in the first place is because the shelf life of plantain is short. You wouldn't want to, within a week your plantains are already very ripe, and then if you don't get to offtake them, they get bad. But if you harvest and then you have the capacity as a farmer to process into flour, of course you go ahead and process into flour, make more money. And let me tell you, the shelf life of flour is about 6 months, and that is so long a time for you to sell out. And that means you are making more money, because once you've added value to it, it means people are going to pay more. That is the essence of the value you're adding to it. People are going to pay more for your flour. If it's flour you want to convert it into, people are going to pay more for your flour, and then your flour takes longer time, yeah, before it gets bad, and it's enough time for you to even distribute around the country, or even to other countries. You export into other countries. You can also convert into plantain chips. Have you ever tasted a chips before? It's so crispy and so delicious. I love plantain chips, they're so nice. Yes, you can convert into plantain chips, and these things sell at higher prices than even when you get to just sell your plantain to the open market. When you add value to your plantain, you convert it to a chip or into chips, and then you're selling. People are going to pay more for it, and you make more profit from the addition of values to your plantain. Are you seeing it? There's a whole lot of money, and then you need to start thinking there are still a whole lot of other products you could really use plantain to produce. You can always get out of plantain, and you make these things, and then you add value to your plantain, and then people are going to pay more. Are going to pay more than they would have if they just bought the plantain. They bought your plantain from you, and then you are making more from all of this. We've seen a whole lot of things we could do with our plantain. We could either choose to sell directly to the market, or we could choose to add values to the plantain to make it a whole lot attractive to our consumers. At this point, guys, we've come to the end of today's video. I told you were going to see massive business ideas, and you have indeed seen several business ideas. Several ways you could use and then make more profit in your plantain farming business. And also, if you've got other ideas I probably didn't mention, please drop in the comment section. Let us interact. Let us know more business ideas you have that might not really be thinking about right now. So let us know, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you still waiting for? Hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you get notified when subsequent videos drop. Hey, like my video, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, do that so this video can get to more people, so that more people can learn about the various business ideas in plantain farming business. Guys, I really don't want to go, but I just have to go, so stick around till the next time when we get to see. Bye for now, guys. Do well to be safe.